What's up everyone? In today's video we're going to be switching from the peak suspension upper control arms to the CWF off-road upper control arms on the ZR2. What's up everyone? Welcome to today's video. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, you're awesome. Thank you. Let's get into some of the explanation behind why I'm changing the arms, because this is the third set of aftermarket arms for me. I'm gonna insert the video of me driving. You'll hear there's clunking noise. And now this was me testing before I actually started filming this video. Well, I already knew this, but the front is lifted up and I'm turning the driver's side wheel and you can see it's pretty hard to turn. And now when I turn the passenger side wheel, it spins freely. So there's some sort of binding going on in the axle, possibly in the CV area. We think the inner CV. I'm talking with a couple different people. We kind of came to the conclusion, well, there's somewhat of a debate on this one, that I have the King's shocks, the extended shocks. So I'll show you the difference right now between the stock DSSV and the King's to see the different amount of droop. And if you look at that, obviously there's a lot more suspension travel. So now if I take you over to my little work stand over here, we'll show with my this horrible demonstration of a drawing of mine. But this was kind of some of the explanation that I was told through a couple people. This is just an assumption, kind of no concrete evidence behind this, that we're just trying to figure out to solidify this a little bit better, because maybe this will work better for my situation. So let's look here. So these peak suspension arms, we're going to go over some of the differences in a second. These peak suspension arms are supposed to be a little bit shorter than the CWF off-road arms. When you get an alignment, the adjustment is at the bottom lower control arm. So your adjustment bolt will actually, if you extend it out, it'll kick the bottom out. So with the longer upper control arm, when you kick the bottom out, you'll actually be able to kick the top out a little bit, which will in turn make your axle longer. It's not making it physically longer, but I guess kind of, if you think about it in this sense, it's making your axle longer. Now we go over to my horrible drawing. So this would be the peak arm that's supposed to be shorter than the CWF. So if you look at, this is like your bearings in the inner CV. So at your angle at full droop, you see you're hitting like the edge of the little CV area. So with the CWF that's supposed to pull the wheel out a little bit more, you're pulling the bottom out and then pulling the top out, which in turn is pulling the axle out of your little CV a little bit. So at the same angle, you're not hitting the edge of the CV. That's my horrible explanation about this. In my mind, it makes sense, and with the couple people I was talking about, it kind of makes sense. So we're going to try this out. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a shot. And obviously, after this is installed, we're going to need an alignment. Full disclosure for you guys, I did get these arms at a discount, but I did still pay money for them. I got these arms through Colorado Canyon Enthusiast. Check them out on Instagram, check their website out, and hit up Wyatt on Facebook. He can hook you up. I do have a discount code for you, but you're going to have to wait for the end of the video. Or you just check the description right now. Back to the video. Let's look at some of the differences. So I got you on my workbench, which doubles as a chest freezer. But anyway, so this is your peak suspension control arm. This is your CWF off-road upper control arm. As you see right off the bat, the grease fitting is at the bottom on the peak, on the top on your CWF. I don't think it makes a difference as long as you put the peak one facing out. Bushings, they seem to be both delrin bushings. If you look at these peak suspension arms, this clip I'm going to overlay right now, the bushings are still nice and tight, so there's no issue with that. The red bushings, which I don't think they ship with anymore, tend to stretch and loosen up and you get a clunking noise, so make sure you have the delrin bushings. Other difference we have here, kind of the same thing, is just a different setup for your bolts. So this is the peak suspension. I don't know what size this is offhand, but 9/16 up here, 7/8 on the bottom. This one is actually an Allen key, and it kind of looks like a 7/8 at the bottom. I don't know what size this is for you. I do have a T60 bit, which kind of fits, which is what I'm gonna use to put this in, because I didn't check beforehand. So I'm gonna snug this up, then I'm gonna go to the store and buy the actual Allen key so I can get it nice and tight. Then let's look at the length of the arms here. From the center to about the center is about 10 1/4. And on the CWF, it's looking a little bit like 10.5 from this is the rear side of the arm. And then let's see, the front side to center is about 12.25. And then center to center is about 12.5, 12 5/8. Now I was trying to lay the arms on top of each other before to see if you could tell like a difference. Move that out of the way. So if you put them center to center, the peak arm looks larger-ish. CWF, center to center, it looks a lot larger. So I don't know what that actually means, but here you go. Now one other thing, from my understanding, they're supposed to be this is kind of like an early version of these arms, so it's supposed to be updating it to clean it up a little bit, because if you look at it, it almost looks as if like I made this myself. So I gave some feedback about at least cleaning up the welds, because if you see all the reflections and stuff like that, apparently they're gonna change this. So I gotta go find some grease around this garage somewhere, because it's still not set up with my cabinets and stuff is still packed away. So I gotta go find some grease somewhere to put in these bushings to throw the sleeves in. We're gonna throw this on, then we're gonna take a look at it. Then I'm gonna do the other side. If you want to see how to change upper control arms, they're basically all the same, because you just have to get to these two bolts and you have to take basically your entire suspension off and the shock out. Some people have got it with, I think, bending a wrench to fit it around the shock. I just took the whole thing out. So if you want to see that, I'll link a video up in the corner. I've done this a couple times before, and the explanation, I guess, behind it. So if you want to see that, go check that video out. This is going to be a little bit more just like a overall review of this. And just like that. So that arm's changed. Let me go swap out the driver's side. Shouldn't take me too long. It's gonna be quicker if I don't film it, so it'll be done in a second. And before we drop it down, let's check it. So passenger side was obviously the good side. Still good. Driver's side. So I wouldn't say it's fixed, but it's definitely better. So it spins a little bit more freely than it did before. So I'll show you the before video now, which you can see it's a little more notchy, a little harder to spin. And now I'll show that again of it spinning. It spins a little bit better, still binds a little bit, but also we still have to go get an alignment. We're gonna overlay the footage I took before of the before. Can't tell if it's poking out anymore. But just looking at it, the top is tilted out. There's too much positive camber. That will be fixed when we go get an alignment and when they push the little control arm out a little bit. Then we could do the spin test again. And we're back from the alignment. So this battery's gonna die soon. So this is the alignment specs. This was the before and after. It was before. That was perfectly aligned with the peak suspension control arm, so as you can see, the top was pushed out a little bit. And those are our new measurements. Now I'll overlay the video from the beginning before we did it, and now let's see it after the alignment. So as you see, I guess these arms worked. So if you have a similar setup, if you've been having axle binding issues, consider this setup actually. So I'll try to show it. I pulled the car a little far into the garage, but this is the after. I was actually able to see it going down the road. It was actually cambered out a little bit. It's all fixed. Can't tell if it's poking out anymore. Maybe it is. All right, future Chris again. So I want to give a huge shout out again to Wyatt at Colorado Canyon Enthusiasts. Go check them out. At the time I originally made the video, I didn't have a discount code for you guys, but now I have a discount code, so this is in the video. This is the discount code right on the screen. It's a 10% discount. It's CWFDZ. Go on their website. I'm going to link it down below. Check them out. And these are awesome. Thanks again. And now back to past Chris. All right, so that's it. That's all for this video. So once again, I want to give a huge shout out to Wyatt at Colorado Canyon Enthusiast. Go check them out. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to work with you on this one. CFW off-road arms worked. The peak suspension control arms also work, but they don't seem to work with the extended Kings. Maybe you'll have better luck than I did, but yeah. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and leave some comments down below. Make sure you don't miss any of the future videos coming out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.